Alright, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the final fight of the arc, and we're going to be talking about how to do the fight, kind of basically how to two-round it, because I spent some time on stream and going over the cheats and trying to figure out what's the purpose of this fight and how to do it optimally. There are going to be some ways to like glitch around it in test round, but some of the stuff is going to be fixed. But I still wanted to make a video regarding this fight because I kind of already did two videos talking about whether it be, you know, the whole highlight of the stream and then me doing the final fight for the first time. And now I wanted to upload a video of how to do the fight properly because now that I have some good experience, you know, definitely tested some stuff, you know, see if you can cheese it in any sort of way. I looked into it and now there is a 2-round cheese if you want to just quickly do this, but don't expect this to be the same as challenge mode. So there will be a challenge mode for this fight, but it's not released yet in test realm. Apparently it might make its way to next week, hopefully, and if it does, I will go ham on testing because apparently there's going to be a lot of reactions in that fight. So there's that. Now let's talk about what's the premise of the fight and what's the point of using a doom moon in the back, right? This is like the first fight we've had like someone outside like supporting us other than the Imperia final fight of part 2. I think part 1 actually. Yeah, part 1. So I've always wanted something like a big beast or something that's huge supporting us in the back, and I've always advocated for that ever since Darkmoor. I was like, dude, it would be so nice if we had someone supporting us doing something crazy like that. And this fight is legit just that. The Doom Moon physically shoots a giant beam destroying all these ships, which is kind of like Pyre 101. But yeah, so the premise of the fight is that depending on your school, a hero will show up and do certain cheats. So like, for example, like Mandar, he has a Scion cheat. So basically, if you do traps and you reach the gambited traps for like a Scion, like so 4 traps, he will cast the Doom Moon and he will literally do 6k to all the enemies. And it only works if you hit the condition. So it's basically the Scion condition for all the schools, right? So for example, if you want to hit the ice condition, you got to have 4 shields. If you want to do the fire condition, you got to have 2 dots. Storm condition, 4 blades. Myth, of course, 4 traps. Death, 4 negative charms, and life having 2 hots. Balance is like half and half. So if you have like, I think it's like 2 to 3 blades and 2 to 3 traps, or 2 to 3 blades and 2 to 3 weaknesses, or if you have 2 to 3 shields to 2 to 3 traps, it works. I believe it's 2, if I remember, it's 2. But that's how you activate each hero, because they're all inside the Doom Moon trying to help you out. So you can use that to your advantage to speed up the fight if you can set up 2 conditions at the same time. And there's a way that you can do it so you can hit 4 beams in 1 round. So that's the whole premise of the cheese at the moment. So we're using Link because Link puts a hot on you and puts a dot on the enemy. So when you do another hot and another dot, so if another player does a Link, there's 2 dots on the enemy field and 2 hots on us. So it activates both the life cheat and the fire cheat. So you don't have to have 2 hots on the same person. They can be spread out against your team. You can't use AoEs. AoEs don't affect the heroes. So if you try using like Scald, try using Pigsy, stuff like that does multiple targets at once, it won't set up your heroes. So basically AoEs, you can still hit with AoEs, but in a sense where it doesn't help you accelerate the fight per se. So using stuff like Link to your advantage is busted as hell. Obviously the challenge mode is not going to be as easy as this is. Of course you can do Scald and Incendiate just back to back and call it quits, but I know players are not going to be able to have that set up to that certain point, because you can literally Scald and Incendiate these ships back to back if you have 2 people who can do Scald and 2 people that can do Incendiate, and this fight is just Scald and Incendiate. Because there's just 2 rows of ships that you have to fight in standard mode. There's the 4 and then there's another 4 that you have to fight. So but the way that we did it is if you kill for some reason on round 2 with a guarantee hit, it won't summon the last ship. So I'm using that to my advantage to be able to just only have to fight 7 ships instead of 8, which is the whole premise of the fight. You have to fight 8. There was a way that you can stagger join and kind of like cheese it, which I did on I think the previous video, which was, I didn't even realize till I was just like, you know, doing it in the video, where like if you kill one ship and then you flee, but you have to figure out which ship is the actual trigger for the whole spawning mechanic, which is usually the one in the last slot from what I've seen, for it seems like to me at least. And if you just kill that ship and then flee and come back, you can basically ignore a whole row of ships. So you can do that too. There's multiple ways of you doing this fight, which I kind of like, right? You can do it the intended way, which, I mean, you know, using the Doom Moon to your advantage, which I used in this video by using stun blocks, LE traps, whatever. But the stun blocks and LE traps is another cheese in itself. So setting up the traps on on a target, activate two things. So if you do an LE trap, you're activating the balance cheat, and you're also activating the trap cheat for Mandar. So once you have that, you can you can do that. Once you have the second person do a stun block, here's the tricky part. You use a stun block, that's activating the balance cheat. And once you do the Doom Moon hit, it removes all field, like all the effects on the field. But since you're using stun blocks, it will not remove the stun blocks. So what you could do is, once you do that, you've done the balance cheat. The following round, you set up another pair of traps. He will do the cheat again, and he will do his balance cheat and hit with the Doom Moon. And then if you put another stun block shield on yourself, you have 4 stun block shields. That activates the ice cheat. So you're using all these things to your advantage by setting up multiple gambits to be able to activate the Doom Moon and be able to push out all this damage to these ships. So I'm kind of using all the versatility I can on this fight, using the being access to Link, of course, because Link sets up 2 conditions, and using LE trap and stun blocks to set up the condition even further. Because the fact that I'm activating the ice cheat, I'm also activating the balance cheat, and sometimes it'll activate the Mandar cheat. But the thing is, with the Mandar cheat, we're not really using that to our advantage per se, due to the fact that we're not setting up 4 traps. Instead, I'm using the balance cheat where it uses 2 shields and 2 traps, which is kind of interesting because the balance cheat has multiple ways of activating. Of course, I'll do a video like writing down all the cheats, the most optimal way, whatever, but it's test round, so I don't want to do that for that purpose, because things will be changing in this fight. I expect it to happen. So for that reason, I don't want to upload a complete breakdown. Instead, I'm just going to upload the cheese method right now, and then of course, if it does get patched live realm, you guys will see I'll do another video, or even check the Discord. I'll have slides in the Discord for most of these fights, if people want to farm it, because this will be one of the fights technically that you do farm later down the line, because this will have a challenge mode, like I said. So we should be expecting gear from this fight. We should be expecting some stuff from here, because there's a gear crafter, so that's a given. And there's some other fights I need to go over as well, but you guys will see videos regarding that later in the day. So be on the lookout for all these test run videos. I am recording this super late at night. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning, but hey, I gotta get all these videos out for you guys for the whole day. So be on the lookout. There should be a video almost every hour at this point. And yeah, so leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.